Okay, so in this part of the video, we are going to discuss about the research methodology, which is chapter 3 of your thesis or the project report. So if you see the cartoon on the screen, it says that I was just rubbing sticks together for fun. I didn't realize I was doing basic research. So if you are just rubbing the sticks and even you got the results, you got the fire, and if you don't describe it in proper using proper method, then it will not be a methodology. It will just something that you have already done. Okay, so the main thing is that how you are going to describe your work according to the methods. Okay, so research is a systematic because it follows certain steps that are logical in orders. So it is systematic. If it is not following certain steps, it is just, if you are just trying to do some things here and there and you got the results, so it will not be called a research because it's not systematic. Okay, so the steps of the research are to understand the nature of problem to be studied and identify the related area of knowledge that we have already done in chapter 1 in the problem statement. Okay, then we go to the chapter 2, which is the reviewing the literature or the literature review. Why? To understand how others have approached or dealt with the problem. So we have to find people's work uh, different people work who are going to who try to solve this type of problem. So and then we have to take the ideas from there and we have to propose our own problem solution. Okay, so this is all the literature review that we would be doing in the chapter 2. And then comes the collecting data. Okay, after we are done with the collecting with the literature review and we also know clearly what is the problem, now we have to collect that data. So collection of data depends on whatever type of project you are doing. It can be simulations, it can be measurements, it can be collection of data in the form of surveys, etc. Okay, then we have to, after collecting data, we have to analyze the data appropriately in accordance to the problem so that we can relate it with the problem and we can come out with the solution. And then finally we have to draw a conclusion and making some generalizations. Okay, so these are the steps that are defining the methods that you are going to use during your thesis or during your project for the final year. Okay, so here's a example case study. Okay, a general manager of a car producing company was concerned with the complaints received from the car user that the car they produce have some problems with rattling sound at the dashboard and the rear passenger seat after few thousand kilometers. So the problem that this general manager saw is that there was a rattling sound coming from the dashboard and the rear passenger seat after few thousand kilometers of driving. Okay, so how is he going to solve this problem? Let's take this example as an example following the methodology of the project. Okay, first of all, he obtained information from the company workers to identify the various factors influencing the problem. So he went to the different workers, to the experts for interviews, for taking their views, why this noise is coming, what are the different possibilities of this noise to be coming. Okay, so this is gathering the problem statement. Okay, you already know the problem, but this is gathering the background of the problem. What are the different possibilities that can create this problem? Okay, and then from these possibilities he formulated the problem. Okay, this is actually the problem, and generated guesses. Okay, so guesses are based, these are well educated guesses. Okay, we call them educated guesses based on the experience of the company workers that have been working in this field for few years. Okay, so from there he generated guesses. Okay, these are called the hypotheses. And then based on the hypothesis he constructed a checklist and obtained requisite information from a representative sample of cars. Okay, so he collected different samples of car and he constructed a checklist. Okay, so what are the symptoms that we can say before the problem occurred? Okay, then he analyzed the data, all the data that he collected in part 1, 2 and 3. He analyzed the data, interpreted the results. Okay, he interpreted the result that he obtained from this data in the light of his hypothesis, and he reached the conclusion of the what was the real reason of the problem. Okay, and then from there he will be giving the solution of the problem. Okay, so you will notice in the example above that the researcher went through a sequence of steps which were in order and the systematic. So this sequence of steps that are systematic, this is called the methodology. Okay, so this is the methodology of the problem that he was facing. He solved that problem systematically using a methodology. Okay, so if you apply this to your project, whatever problem you have got, for example, if you are going to provide some solution based on IoT, okay, let's say agriculture or intelligent agriculture system based on IoT. So you have to, first of all, you have to explain what is the problem and what are the steps that you are going to do to solve this problem systematically, so that you can explain your methodology. Okay. Okay, then the researcher did not just jump at the conclusion. If he just take the guesses and jump at the conclusion, that then it will not be a research, it will not be something that is following a methodology. Okay, two important characteristics of research are it is systematic, and secondly it follows a scientific method of inquiry. Okay, so there are certain steps that we have to follow. It should be from step to step systematically, and then every step must have some scientific method or scientific reason behind that. Okay, so whatever steps we are going to do, we have to explain them according to the theory or science behind those steps to solve the problem. Okay, so generally, what are the different phases of a research process? First one is deciding what to research. Okay, find the research problem, planning a research study based on the literature review and all the data that we have collected. uh, in the chapter 2 we have to plan our research, and then conducting a research study. Okay, we have to know, based on the literature review, we can know what are the different methods that can be used to solve this type of problem. Okay, and then we have to conduct research study according to that, and finally we have to conclude the research study based on whatever results we have got. We have to explain them and we have to give a very generalized conclusion. Okay, so research design. First of all, procedures, they should be clear and concise. Okay, so whatever are the procedures that we are following, they should be very clear and concise. The equipment and tools that we are going to solve the problems, use for the solution of problems, should be very specific. Okay, we should give all the specifications. For example, we are whatever software we are using, so we should give all the specification of the software, or let's say electronic components that we are using. Okay, so we have to get the data sheets and we have to give all the details, the manufacturing series, their capacity, abilities, capabilities, all the things, and all the things that are mentioned in the data sheet should be clearly and concluded in the methodology section. Okay, then we materials that we are going to use in our research should all be mentioned in the methodology as well. What are the do's and don'ts? Okay, use past tense to describe what you did. Okay, here we have to know that this methodology, the thesis that we are talking, is at the end of your final year project 2, mean that whenever you finish your project and you describe them in the methodology. Okay, so means you have already done your work, so you are writing everything in the past tense. Okay, so if you are at the start of your project and you are writing it, so you can write it in present or future, but finally when it will come out as a thesis, the methodology should be in the past tense, because you have already done all the work. Now you are just explaining. Okay, order procedures chronologically or by step of procedures. Okay, so we have to know what are the steps. So after step 1, phase 1 should come the phase 2, not the phase 3. So we cannot jump from phase 1 to phase 3, phase 4, like that. Okay, and do not include details of common statistical procedures. The procedures that are already well known, no need to include them in your thesis or in the methodology. And do not mix results with procedures. So whatever results you are obtaining, you have to put them in the chapter 4 results and discussion, not in the methodology. Just the general procedures you have to put in the methodology chapter. Okay, so chapter 3 shall consist of, but not limited to, introduction with research flowchart. Introduction here means introduction of the chapter, not introduction of the thesis or the work, because that is already available in chapter 1. Okay, now this is just the basic introduction of your chapter 3, what you are going to explain in the chapter 3. Okay, and then there should be a research flowchart. This is very important, that you must have a research flowchart for your project. Okay, this is project flowchart. Okay, so when you okay, start with the start. Okay, then what are you going to do? Different blocks in the flow chart. There are different standard blocks, okay, conditional blocks. If this condition is true, then we will go to next step. If this condition is false, then we will go to back to the previous step. We will see an example of the research flow chart in the later part of this video. Okay, then experimental study design. Okay, you have to explain in the methodology, elaboration of process flow. So all the processes that you are using and all the process flow should be elaborated in the methodology chapter. Okay, parametric studies, the basic parametric studies that is very common, okay, that are very common to be done, you should explain here, not in the chapter 4. Okay, testing and characterization, the basic overall understanding of testing and characterization and the methods that you are going to use should be mentioned here. And finally the conclusion of the chapter. Again, this is conclusion of the chapter 3, not the conclusion of the thesis. Okay, so this is all the parts of the chapter 3. Okay, the introduction, for every chapter, introduction is an essential part to be written. Okay, every chapter of your thesis must have a very brief introduction. The first chapter can have a longer introduction, but all other chapters should have a very brief introduction. Okay, it shall be simple, short and precise. Just one paragraph is enough, or two paragraphs it's enough for every chapter. Composition of introduction shall be in past tense. Okay, again, as I mentioned earlier, because we are writing this thesis at the end of your final year project, so everything should be in the past tense, showing the methods that have been conducted. Okay, just a very brief explanation of what you have done in explained in this chapter. Okay, then the next thing is the experimental study and design. Okay, for this you will start with the DOE, which is design of experimentals or design of experiments. Okay, all the details of design of experiment you can mention in this chapter. Why experimental study design? Okay, why you have done this thing, you can mention in this chapter. Okay, it shows the big picture of your work. Okay, not the specific or details of your work, but just the big picture of your work, how you design your work. Okay, how you run the experiments, what equipments are you going to use, what are the parameters that you are going to study, what softwares are you going to use, and what type of data are you going to collect, and how are you going to characterize. All this comes under the experimental design or the study design. Okay, so this should be the second part of your methodology chapter. Then the source of data. Okay, how you collected the data using lab experiments, computer simulations, case studies, company surveys, questionnaires. Whatever you have done, you should mention in your methodology in detail. Okay, and then you have to mention all the steps, procedures, materials, samples, equipment, separators, software used, method for data analysis, performance measure, treatment of errors. All these things should be put in this part of the methodology. And also you have to mention, or you have to highlight why you use different specific equipment or specific material. You have to justify what you are doing. Okay, so this is an example of a flow chart. Okay, if we see on the right side a very simple flow chart, we should start with a these are the standard shapes that we use. Okay, in the start we have to use an oval shape, and we mention start. Okay, then understanding of lubricant characteristic, then we go to next step, and this is the conditional block, experimental work. Okay, it's not the very specific actually, but you can arrange it according to your project. Okay, so experimental work is successful, then we can go to next step. If it is not successful, then we go back to the experimental work. Okay, or we can go back to the previous step as well. Then again some condition blocks, and in the end it is report writing, and finally the end of your project. Okay, so at the right side is the very general flow chart. At the left side is some details of the different flows, different works. Okay, so different stages of the flow chart can also be explained in details like that. Okay, okay, then the elaboration of process flow. The next step and the next part of the methodology is the elaboration of the process flow. We have to narrow down the experimental work. Earlier we have already very very general overview of the project. Then now we are going to narrow down the experimental work. Okay, we have to be very specific whatever we are going to use, and then step by step of how the study will be conducted from the beginning right to the end. Okay, in the flow chart. Elaboration should be as detailed as possible to describe the entire work that has been done. Okay, so we have to put enough details, but we have to make sure that we are not going to describe the useless things. I mean, those things that are already available in the literature or already very well understood, we don't need to describe them in this part. Okay, then what are the parameters that we are going to study in our project? We have to highlight them as well here, and why we need these parameters, why we are going to choose specific parameter, why not other parameter. These things we have to put in the methodology chapter, and we have to justify our selections as well. And then testing and characterization, what are the equipment that we are going to use, what type of characterization techniques that we are going to use, and what is the principal fundamental of selected techniques. Okay, so all these things we have to put this part of the methodology. Okay, finally there are some general tips. Manage your time. You have to know that you are doing your final project, but you have other courses as well, so you have to manage your time well. You have to get good grades in other courses, but you have to give a very you have to be very focused on your project, okay, so that you can finish it on time and you can do it very well, including the writing of thesis. Okay, then create a calendar from now until the completion date. Okay, keep a task list. This comes under a Gantt chart, so it's a very good practice. Maybe it's not required for your thesis, but it's always a good practice to create a Gantt chart. You can discuss with your supervisor, because you may not you may not know how much exactly time is going to be taken by the different procedures, so you can discuss with your supervisor and form a Gantt chart of your 2 semester project that you are going to do. Okay, all the timelines should be roughly mentioned in the Gantt chart. Don't leave writing until the last minute. This is very important, that don't leave the writing until the last minute. Whenever we say, okay, we let us do some work and then we write later, then what happens is that we forget. Whatever we do, just write it. Okay, so whenever we get a chance, whenever we get a time after completion of one task, write it. So whenever we write, in the end what we have to do is we just have to refine our thesis, and our thesis will almost be ready. Okay, follow the guidelines. This the format given by your university. You follow the format, follow the guidelines. Okay, so that it is easy for you in the end. And reference appropriately. Okay, use a Mendeley software or EndNote or whatever software you are uh, used to. Use that software to organize the references. It will be much easier for you, because in thesis, let's say we have 50 or 100 references, so sometimes we have to modify some references, like let's say we number 10, 11, 12, these references if we delete, then we have to do all these things manually. So in order to avoid all these issues, use some software like Mendeley. Okay, and then we can organize our references. So whatever we do, whenever we have to manage, we have to modify, we can simply modify and it will do automatically the referencing for us. Okay, keep up to date with references. Okay, so we have to use the latest references. Last 5 year references are most preferred. Okay, okay, remember that your question may develop as you progress through your research. Okay, so it's not always final. Whatever objectives or problem statement that you have in the start of your project in the first semester, maybe in the end of your project in the second semester you have different understanding, so you can update that as well. And finally, leave plenty of time for final proofreading, because you are already doing step-by-step writing. So finally you have just formatted your thesis, but in the end you must leave plenty of time for a final proofread. Okay, maybe you are doing very good work, but if you haven't done your thesis proofread, then it may not be a good expression on the examiner. So make sure that you have plenty of time for the final proofreading. Maybe you can give your friends for the proofreading, or you can hire someone expert in that area. Okay, so these are the general tips in the end of this methodology chapter. Hope you have got the overview what you have to mention in the methodology chapter. Thank you very much.